Hold up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fourth episode of LinkedTalk. Today, I'm pleased to be joined with Jennifer, who is an HR consultant with Google. Today, we're going to discuss many topics, and when it comes to HR, there are tens of topics that can be discussed. But we'll be focusing on employees' improvement, development, and how to get them out of the comfort zone, which is a phenomena or an issue that many employees face over the time. Hi, Jennifer. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine. Looking forward to chatting with you today.
Perfect. So, Jennifer, if you can give us an introduction from being an HR expert about the role of HR in employees' growth, personal development, and how to get the employees outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, of course. So this is going to vary, of course, from company to company, but I feel that the companies that really take value in their employees are going to take that time. Big companies like Google really do invest a lot in their employees and their personal growth, just because it is going to allow your employees to stay around longer. It's going to allow them to grow and develop and have more internal mobility, which is only going to further to serve your needs as a company, as of course you want to hang on to valuable talent and people who will be able to serve you well in the future. So of course there are going to be some companies who don't value this as much, but I think the companies that do are the ones that really are going to have an edge on the market and really have happier culture and employees overall, for sure.
That's perfect. Being an HR, is there a way to track the employees who are in comfort zone or they're not progressing or improving themselves? Is there a way for you as an HR to know that?
So it's harder to track when someone is in their comfort zone with a hard like metric or figure, like sort of like data. But in my experience, what typically works best is really just like one-on-one speaking with your supervisors and really having them keep track of how you are feeling personally. Really pulse checking how comfortable you are within your role, if there's anything they can do to potentially help you upskill and grow your skills so that you could feel more comfortable. Is it a matter of education? Is it a matter of not feeling supported? What can they better do to make you more able to do your job? So I think it comes down to those sorts of conversations and having a really good boss who's able to sort of tell when there are employees who are needing to have that extra help because of those sorts of comfort zones.
You have mentioned good and valid points about the good boss, and we know that not every organization or any department or any company has some good leaders. Some they do, and even in a company which is like a great company, you may have some department that doesn't have a good leader who is going to speak up on behalf of the employees that I have this and that. So, what about the KPIs and PMSs? Does it help the HR to identify the people who need improvement, development, and to get outside the comfort zone?
I think so. KPIs can be a great place to start. I think that they're a great like initial indicator of sort of overall trends, general fluctuations. But of course, when you really dig in on a case by case basis, reasons behind why someone may be performing not as well as someone else is going to differ for a lot of reasons. So again, potentially them not feeling supported, them not feeling like they have all the knowledge they need, the tools they need. So KPIs definitely are a great place to start, and they can definitely indicate to you if there's something going wrong in your leadership or in the way that you're educating your team, because you'll notice if your whole team's KPIs and sort of numbers are failing, obviously there's more of a larger issue going on there that needs to be addressed. Whereas if it's a case by case basis, you have individual people who sort of aren't meeting this metric. I think it's really on you as a leader to take that time to meet with them to find out how they can better be supported and how you can help them get to the level that the rest of your team is performing at.
That's perfect. One of the questions is, for example, being an HR and you identify, for example, an employee who needs personal development and personal growth. Uh, what normally the actions or the tools that HR has in order to assist with that?
Yeah, so at Google personally, we're very lucky to have a lot of courses and skills to help you learn things. If you aren't at a company like that, I realize many people are at smaller mom and pop type companies. I would recommend potentially going outside yourself or seeing if your HR has any sort of programs, maybe through like LinkedIn Premium, where they can offer you courses you can take, workshops you can take to help you sort of personally develop yourself, maybe potentially outside of work. But if you are fortunate enough to work in a place that really does support that, I definitely recommend taking advantage of those opportunities every chance you get. We all have more to learn. Every
Sure.
day we have new things to learn, so never stop trying. And so I think it's great that there are companies out there that support that. So definitely try to find a culture that embodies that within your workplace.
Perfect. One of the key factors that somehow demotivates employees is the no growth. For example, if I'm an employee with the company and I've been doing the same role for many years and I see no hope for promotion or for getting to the next stage. As an HR, what would be a recommendation to the employees who are facing such challenge? There are some experts that advise horizontal growths, like going from a role to another role, although it's not to an advance in designation or in like to managerial position, but at least you get to know set of new skills. And from your perspective, what are your, as an HR expert, what would be your recommendation to those individuals who face lack of opportunities of growth?
Yeah, I think that that's great. You bring up a great point. I think that horizontal growth is something that can really help people who are stagnant and reaching sort of like a stale point. Um, it's often I talk to, friends or family, and it's kind of a funny thing to say, but it's like, I recently just started taking piano. And so I'm like, what if I had been a piano genius and I had never known, because you never like lay your fingers on the keys. So with horizontal growth, perhaps in the area that you're at, you're not performing well, you're not attaining the goals you want to attain. But perhaps if you learn new skills or move to an area that is different, you may have something within you that does really click well or spark with whatever these new sorts of skills are, and perhaps there is your opportunity to grow. And you would never know if you're not willing to learn, to change, and to adapt. So I think that, if you are struggling in your current role and you're not really reaching any like upward growth, and you don't really have a team around you who can help you grow upwards, to definitely potentially go sideways. So then you do have that potential to then grow within a new location. So yeah, I definitely think horizontal growth is great. And definitely just reaching out to your leads and your leadership again. If you're just struggling to grow upward mobility, it's not always on you as an employee. There's definitely things that your leaders and that company and culture as a whole could definitely do better. And it's on us to make sure that the people who support us know what we're going through as well.
And in your point of view, do you think that personal growth and development of employees help in employees' retention?
For sure. Employees who feel like they can invest in themselves and in a company who's going to take the time to make them better are going to just be happier and feel more supported in general. But as you upskill your employees and allow them to grow and learn new things, they're just, assuming they're happy, they're going to just want to stay within the company because you foster that sort of educational environment that allows them to be their best selves and to learn new things. And most people do love learning and growing new things when they have the opportunity. So sorts of culture that really foster that are definitely going to help to keep your employees around longer.
Perfect. What is your recommendation for employees who, whenever they fail in reaching the position or uh, targeted position, or for example, if I'm aiming on manager but I fail to achieve that in a year or two, is it the right move to leave the company and search for another, or there are other factors that an employee should consider?
There's definitely a lot of factors. I mean, I'd say that there's no right answer there on whether or not you want to leave or not. Life works in funny ways, but I say that, go for the opportunity that you're the most excited about, that you're the most passionate about, because if you're passionate about something, you're going to want to learn more, you're going to want to do better, and you're going to want to excel. And anything that you really have a passion for, you're going to bring that to the table, and it's going to allow you to just do your job better. So definitely recommend always looking into other options, get out there, network, talk to other people about different kinds of work and find out as much information as you can, and never stop growing and learning in that way. But if you still find yourself stagnant and you feel like you don't have the kind of leadership around you to support your growth, then I would say definitely, leave and find some place where you feel supported, because you are going to grow and flourish in that environment.
Jennifer, regarding self-motivation, how an employee can keep motivating themselves, or employees can keep motivating themselves in order to develop themselves better, to obtain more skills, to obtain more knowledge, and to be master in their field?
Yeah, so I think self-motivation, there's a lot of things we don't want to do sometimes, right? Like I don't always want to work out, but sometimes you have to do it. But self-motivation, I think a lot of it comes down to also doing what makes you happy. If there's something that makes you feel more fulfilled, or if there's something you enjoy learning more about in regards to your job, focus on that. If you're really good at data and you want to upskill yourself with data, then become, sort of a data expert and really like hone in on those things that you're really passionate about or that you're really good at, and continue to cultivate those skills. And as you network and teach others, others are going to be able to teach you those skills that they're really good at as well. And in turn, it sort of just becomes this like very educational environment, as everyone shares those parts of themselves that they are just really good at and excel at within the workplace. I would say never stop learning and studying. Like Google Trends, Google Analytics, LinkedIn learning platforms, reading books about the subjects that your workspace involves, whether that be coding or staffing or whatever you do. Stay up with the current trends and knowledge by just increasing your knowledge, and just not allowing yourself to become complacent, and just really breaking out of that comfort zone in the sense of constantly letting yourself know that there's new information out there and that you don't know it all, and that you need to continue to learn to be the best you can be, and to provide your clients the best experience, or to make yourself feel the most fulfilled, for sure.
Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time. All the points that you have addressed will be beneficial to many individuals who will be listening to us. Thank you so much. And before I forget, many people will blame me for not asking, how can I join Google?
Oh, joining Google. Okay, well that one's more difficult, but I
Okay.
definitely recommend people to get into contract work if possible. That's what I do at Google personally. So you can get more of a foot in the door by working in more of a contract role. It's going to gain you the skills and experience on the ground in Google that will allow you then to branch out within Google, or potentially within other companies within the tech sphere. So if you're having trouble getting a full-time role at Google, I definitely highly recommend at least attempting to get a contract role, because they are slightly easier to get,
Okay.
and definitely more entry level. There's more staffing entry levels across the board, and you can start to gain those skills and experience.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You've been of great help, and we were pleased to have you in this interview. I wish you all the best, and hope we meet again for another episode with another topic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hold up.